And welcome to the show. Great to be with you. Thanks for tuning in. Glad you could make it to the end of the week. And as I always say, we are at the end of the week, but we're not at the end of our rope. And far from that. And I need more of the top of my head, Gary.
I'm going to beat that chair.
The chair is a magical chair. It goes up and down without me even having to touch it.
Okay. I set the cameras every day the same way, and that chair moves.
I know. Can I say it's magic? Hope Dr. Cass Ingram's my guest today. Always enjoy Dr. Ingram because, as I mentioned to you on other occasions, I don't have to worry about him being inauthentic.
I was going over some videos earlier before we started the show today, and I was watching him getting really just excited about all the products, and I was like, I don't know if I can play those during the commercials.
So what we do is, if you stream the show, you know that we run commercials up on the screen and for the stream, and we'll be running some North American Urban Spice video on the stream as we move through this first hour with Dr. Ingram. Now, he's an important guest because not only because he's authentic and I'm selfish. I look at it as production value. He creates great production value for me because he makes it entertaining. And entertaining doesn't mean being funny. It means, for me, being compelling, being passionate, and all of those kinds of things. But you need to know that he's a guest with years of experience, clinical experience, and decades worth of experience in traveling around the world. Now, I've been around long enough to know that when you have a guest like that kind of background, and I didn't even get into his credentials, just that alone is enough to tell me that that's going to influence what he has to say, how he's going to say it, and for what purpose. And as long as he's been doing this, and I don't need to ingratiate myself with him. Cass knows that I care about him and I love him. As long as he's been doing this, I have never seen the speedometer on passion diminish for him. He's still over the speed limit on passion. And that's remarkable because when you're in this business as long as he's been in it and been a doctor for as long as he has been, you can get cynical, dealing with all sorts of issues, professional issues. But he still as passionate today as when I first met him 13 years ago, when he was even one of the first guests on this show. I didn't know him from Adam's rib. And you could play a tape from 13 years ago and play one, a more recent one, or listen today, and you won't see any difference. It's a seamless in terms of his commitment. That's why I find him an important guest. He's important for me, but he's most important for you. And I was looking at what he wanted to talk about. One of the people in the office, Jasmine, sent me, and I found the documents useful. He's going to talk about a constellation of dietary supplement-based products from North American Urban Spice. It's interesting. It's an interesting collection that he put together here, and I'm curious as to why, from hempenol to cannacuramine to oregano, and put those together. And one, you can take them individually, clearly, or you can take them in combination, either in pairs or all of them. But I'm curious as to what's on his mind about that and why he selected those. When you go to North American Urban Spice, you'll see they have more than what are called SKUs, products, more than a few. They got more than I have sense. Okay? So he selected these. And he's very deliberate. So, and he's been traveling, always has traveled, Middle East, wherever. And he's an expert on these cultures. And that's another thing. And I have a bias. I'm always intrigued with people that come from other cultures, know about other cultures, are dialed into other cultures, and use that knowledge to help them understand the culture that they're currently living in. I don't like homogenized milk, if you follow my metaphor. I like things to be heterogeneous, difference. Difference makes for more interesting things to talk about. And with all of that, I give you the aforementioned Dr. Cass Ingram. Dr. Ingram, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on.
Yeah, hello, my friend. Good to talk to you again on a crucial topic of pain and the current medical model for pain and inflammation.
What is the current medical model for pain and inflammation? What is the traditional allopathic model?
The allopathic model is enzyme defeating and prostaglandin interfering drug therapy, or analgesic drug therapy, or morphinated, codeinated, if you will, opiate drug therapy. And that's pretty much it until the person gets to the stage of complete collagen destruction, perhaps, or synovial membrane wipeout, and then you replace the joint. That's it. And that model it needs some assessment. That's what this show is about, because it's not by any means ideal. For example, there are 100,000 people who are excessively medicated with the opiate family and the nonsteroidals, and about 24,000 of those die minimum every year from the drugs. So that's a lot of fatalities. Somebody's trying to get relief from pain, they bleed out, or they have a toxicity. Yeah,
I'm sure that there are a number. If you could, maybe this is a question that can't even be answered on air, but because it's too complicated. Typically, what is the typical reason why people die from opioids? What happened? I get the overdose, but can they die from overuse, not overdose?
Well, it's it becomes addictive. So there's the overuse, and it can cause respiratory failure. It becomes such a severe addiction, nobody knows what's going on. The client, the receiver of the drug is not aware that the addiction is pushing them towards a potentially fatal event. They could get respiratory failure, they get pneumonia, and then the doctor is not aware of it because they're just constantly in pain and they're constantly addicted to that. But it's mainly respiratory rate issues, and then apnea, and then sudden onset of pulmonary edema, then cardiac failure, and then finally you find out it was the opiates that took them out. Hypoxia. So it's an insidious fatality, you see? It's not like, and there is some renal failure, but it's not quite like the nonsteroidals. The nonsteroidals shut down the kidneys. You die of kidney failure. You end up having a dialysis, or they cause a bleed out. The same with aspirin. So because there are the 20. I'm on a mission so that at some point we reduce those 25 to 50,000 deaths in the United States alone to 2,000 deaths, or maybe less, or 5,000 something, by offering effective alternatives to opioids, to morphine, which morphine is used to actually kill people. Okay.
Well, I can give you a first-hand account of morphine. And when I was going through when we come back, I'll share something with you. And
yeah, you don't want to get that stuff.
No. We come back, we'll continue.
I'm Joy McCarthy.
This village is just now with contributions opening up new schools for their children, and the population is growing so that these children have education, and education is their power. Education is so needed to help them with all of their life's work, and we are here to help them to build these schools and to bless them with knowledge and with growing their own lives and learning and enjoying a better quality of life. We will be providing water, and everyone will have access to clean water. They don't have a lot of land. There's very little room to build this school, and yet they're doing it. And look at this, we're on a hill. There's no place to build this, but they're doing it. Where there is a will, there's a way. And this is proof positive that with every problem there's a solution, and education is a solution. Know it, learn that, and help us so we can help others.
Yes, and a student. A pilot is needed. Yes, and a student. A teacher is needed. Yes, and a student. Circle in math. To get letter A. Circle in
I'm sponsoring this to make this world a better place so that they can grow through education and be a better place to live.
To letter A.
Listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Cass Ingram is my guest today. Dr. Ingram is a regular guest on Let's Talk Nutrition. He's a good friend and colleague. He's going to talk about pain today and how to approach it from a non-traditional allopathic method, and he'll lay that out. But he referenced opioids. There's an interesting article that I read in Scientific American. It was published this year, and in Scientific American they reported that recent data indicate that the rise of these synthetic drugs, these opioids, is proving particularly deadly, which Dr. Ingram underscored. the most recent data tell us that between 2015 and 2016, the rate of reported overdose deaths involving synthetic opioids, namely fentanyl and similar drugs, as well as painkillers, tramadol, doubled, accounting for 6 deaths, you ready, per 100,000 in 2016. Yeah. That's 63,000 deaths from drug overdoses, Dr. Ingram. Welcome back.
I know, yeah. No, it's much worse than, and you don't know how many people died that they didn't attribute it to, so, plus the use of morphine to just actually kill people, get rid of them. You know, they did that with my mother, just get rid of her. And I was out of town, and so it's one of those kind of things that we shouldn't be doing. We really should not be suppressing a person's respiratory rate. I mean, you know, with morphine or opiates, God put the respiratory rate to be automatic in the cranial centers of the brainstem so that no one could suppress it. And every minute 14 to 16 breaths, not possible to stop except by the Creator himself, at the time of passing or whatever you want to call that. But now we're doing it artificially to kill people, or we're doing it in an attempt to ease their pain, and they end up dying because the opiates interfere with the respiratory axis, and then they end up with the pneumonia, the cardiac failure. And how many people with heart failure and congestive heart failure and pneumonia die from opiates, but it's not attributed? So maybe it's 100,000 people a year. We don't know.
Could very well be.
Now,
go ahead.
I'm absolutely committed, and your show is a great forum for this, to reduce this pain and agony in the human race. I know it can be done. For example, one thing that used to be commonly available were camphorated medicines.
What are those? What does that mean? What does that mean, camphorated?
Camphor is coming from a tree. It's a phenolic compound, and it's very cooling. It's more effective than any opiate. It used to be a mainstay, but like cannabis, it got shut out. It's coming back, and it's an essential oil component from certain trees and tree resins and so on. I've been using camphorated essential oils in a spray module, and I've been using it. It's extremely effective. Now the mechanism of action of these essential oils, because we're talking about rosemary now, we're talking about camphor, we're talking about eucalyptus, we're talking about a number of... The mechanism of essential oil of this is to interdict or interrupt the cycle of pain at the nerve ending level, all the way to the spinal cord. So the pain cycle is shut down. Also, another mechanism is to numb the nerve endings, and then when that happens, the pain cycle goes back and forth, and it shuts it down. Fortunately, there is a product called Pain-Ease now that does this. It's got these natural essential oils, and you squirt it onto the region. Now, I have this little area when I'm stressed that's an aggravator over my adrenal glands, okay? Mm-hmm. I can't reach it hardly. So, and the skin, it's a nerve ending issue. So I take this spray, I pump it into that thing, that pain thing, and it goes away.
It does.
Okay, I've had this for 20 years on and off. This stuff knocks it out, but it's the mechanism. It's different than the opiates and the aspirins and the nonsteroidals. It's not working at the cellular level on a bunch of enzymes. It's working within the nerve ending.
And this is Pain-Ease from North American Herb & Spice. It's a Pain-Ease joint and muscle spray, essential oil spray, if you will.
Yeah, all essential oils. Very unique. And now it has some wild oregano, 84% carbachol. It has wild Turkish lavender. But I would say the main mechanism in there are the camphorated extracts, the eucalyptus oil, along with the oregano and the other things. But when you put this on, it's great for headaches too, but you put it on and you have a big cool sensation. Mm-hmm. Now that cool sensation is because you have effectively numbed the nerve endings.
I see.
What a mechanism that is. So So between something like that, now the new information about cannabis and the data that's very compelling out there on it being effective for pain because of the endocannabinoid, that whole system in the brain, spinal cord, and other organs, then you now have good research on turmeric. So why couldn't we reduce the burden of opiate use? Now, how about opiate addiction? I wouldn't just use something like this Paynees or what have you, or Canacuramin we've talked about before. I would also actually hardcore use a cannabis extract if I had an opiate addiction. Case history: a guy who picks the wild herbs for me, and he goes into the deep bush of Canada. He fell 55 feet from a pine tree onto his feet about 30 years ago. I mean, if you're a picker, you're going to do kind of funny stuff, right? He's in pain. He's on opiates for 30 years. He's no longer on the opiates. He eliminated them.
How?
And he did it with the hempenol, high-strength hempenol.
And hempenol is sold by, again, North American Urban Spice. We're headed in some messages. We come back, we'll continue this conversation addressing the whole issue of pain management in a natural way.
Is getting a good night's
This
is Village is Just Now with contributions, opening up new schools for their children, and the population is growing so that these children have education, and education is their power. Education is so needed to help them with all of their life's work, and we are here to help them to build these schools and to bless them with knowledge and with growing their own lives and learning and enjoying a better quality of life. We will be providing water, and everyone will have access to clean water. They don't have a lot of land. There's very little room to build this school, and yet you're doing it. And look at this, we're on a hill. There's no place to build this, but they're doing it. Where there is a will, there's a way. And this is proof positive that with every problem there's a solution, and education is a solution. Know it, learn that, and help us so we can help others.
Yes, and A student. A pilot is needed. Yes, and A student. A teacher is needed. Yes, and A student. Letter A.
I'm sponsoring this to make this world a better place so that they can grow through education and be a better place to live.
Oh, letter A. And invite letter P with an I in the middle. A beautiful like a ladder. Yes, and A student.
This is Village is Just Now with contributions, opening up new schools for their children, and the population is growing so that these children have education, and education is their power. Education is so needed to help them with all of their life's work, and we are here to help them to build these schools and to bless them with knowledge and with growing their own lives and learning and enjoying a better quality of life. We will be providing water, and everyone will have access to clean water. They don't have a lot of land. There's very little room to build this school, and yet you're doing it. And look at this, we're on a hill. There's no place to build this, but they're doing it. Where there is a will, there's a way. And this is proof positive that with every problem there's a solution, and education is a solution. Know it, learn that, and help us so we can help others.
With an I in the middle. A beautiful like a ladder. Yes, I'm a student.
I'm sponsoring this to make this world a better place so that they can grow through education and be a better place to live.
Letter A. And inverted letter P with an I in the middle. A beautiful like a ladder. Yes, I'm a student.
This is village is just now with contributions, opening up new schools for their children, and the population is growing so that these children have education, and education is their power. Education is so needed to help them with all of their life's work, and we are here to help them to build these schools and to bless them with knowledge and with growing their own lives and learning and enjoying a better quality of life. We will be providing water, and everyone will have access to clean water. They don't have a lot of land. There's very little room to build this school, and yet they're doing it. And look at this, we're on a hill. There's no place to build this, but they're doing it. Where there is a will, there's a way. And this is proof positive that with every problem there's a solution, and education is a solution. Know it, learn that, and help us so we can help others.
With an I in the middle, a beautiful like a ladder. Yes, I'm a student. A pilot is needed. Yes, I'm a student. A teacher is needed. Yes, I'm a student. To get letter A.
I'm sponsoring this to make this world a better place so that they can grow through education and be a better place to live.
Fentanyl, Oxycontin, Demerol, hydrocodone, morphine, Percocet, codeine, methadone, Dilaudid, oxymorphone. Those are the 10 most addictive opioids according to the NIDA. That would be the, National Institute on Drug Abuse, if my memory serves me. Those drugs are so prevalent and so pernicious when overused, it has created such a crisis, not only in our country, but across the globe. Now, pain and pleasure are, when you talk about humans relative to pain and pleasure seeking, pain avoidant. Humans, I've never been in clinical practice, didn't want to be, but what I do know about human behavior is this, and human beings, they will do, when pushed to limit, humans will do anything to avoid pain. And we know this. Just look around you and look at that opioid epidemic. They'll do anything. They'll lie, cheat, steal, drop their values, turn into somebody nobody even knows. Dr. Ingram, welcome back. So there are natural ways to address this, and this is a good conversation to have. You mentioned...
Yes, it's catastrophic, the current situation, so we need the alternatives. And I'm very, very pleased to see that we can spray it away, if you will, or to get something that's basically just pure essential oils, and then you hit it into the skin. It fully penetrates the dermis. These substances are then taken up by the nerve endings. The way our Creator made them, they're apparently for pain. They've been used the camphor has been used since ancient Pharaoh and ancient Greece, so we're talking all the really hardcore civilizations were using camphor and were trading in it, had great value. But now there are many oils that have that kind of power. Rosemary, eucalyptus, Turkish lavender, oregano, we know, and camphorated bark extracts. So these can come back on the market. They're legal. In fact, the federal government has a pain claim for camphor, that you can actually have a drug claim that is effective for minor to moderate pain.
Wow.
So that's how well researched it is.
And you'll find it in the product that Dr. Ingram referenced or alluded to earlier, Pain Ease from North American Herb and Spice. It's a joint and muscle spray, essential oil spray, and very effective, simple to use. Cannot use it in they mention in their literature you cannot use it. You should not use it in an open wound.
Yes, this is this typical statement. However, this particular formula has eucalyptus, rosemary, Turkish lavender, wild oregano, so it wouldn't hurt. It's so natural if a bit of that got on a wound. Mm-hmm. But as a rule, it's in the drug literature that you don't pour camphor on a big open surgical wound.
Right.
I wouldn't worry about minor to moderate at all on this.
What about
the other?
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead. Please, go ahead.
The other thing is to do some internal therapy for chronic pain, and that's where you get into substances like the crude full spectrum non-solvent extracted cannabis extracts such as hempenol. That's where you get into high-quality turmeric extracts, and the turmeric blocks the COX-2 mechanism, which is the prostaglandin cascade, very similar to non-steroidals, whereas your cannabis extracts work on the balancing act within the brain and spinal cord and peripheral nerves by stimulating more endocannabinoid receptors. Those are those receptors that modulate pain. So and there's no toxicity, by the way, of what I'm telling you. So we need the alternative.
We
lose people from the drugs.
What is carophyllene?
Carophyllene is very powerful. That's a terpene. And that is found in dozens and dozens of essential oils. It is a very, very powerful substance to go into the brain and spinal cord, onto the nerve endings. It puts a balancing act, if you will, on the membranes of the nervous system, reducing the burden of pain and inflammation. And even caryophyllene, by the way, which is the smell of cannabis, it's also the smell of sage and rosemary. That odor, that camphorous odor, is actually from the terpene.
I see.
Caryophyllene, but it's also been found to help the body repair damaged nerve endings. I mean, and all damaged nerves, damaged neurons, damaged axons. Even there's data showing that this particular substance found in cannabis, rosemary, sage, oregano, I'm coming from England the other day, that this actually causes new stem cells to come out in the brain if you've had a stroke. Now, I'm not trying to make medical claims. I'm just telling you the data. If you've had MS, you've had an injury, you've had a drug toxicity to the brain, an opiate addiction.
What about a head injury?
Head injury, concussion, of course. Also, SSRI drugs, Zoloft, Paxil, Xanax, Valium, those cause brain damage. How are you going to repair it? You're going to probably need the cannabis extract to get in there, give you a chance to rebuild.
Caryophyllene is found, it's a compound, an ingredient found in hempenol from North American Herb and Spice. Please visit their website, NorthAmericanHerbandSpice.com. How long has that company been in business?
95.
Good, wow.
Yeah, and, and of course, nobody's trying to sell something to you on a website. Go there to study it, learn it. That's not that great of a source of information because you can't say anything. The federal government is restrictive. So if you want more information about caryophyllene, then there's my book, The Cannabis Cure, of course. It has great detail about it and also about the different other terpenes and cannabinoids that are in cannabis extract. I'm a big fan of the extract. I'm not a big smoker.
I know.
I'm not a fan of using marijuana by smoking it. But if you're doing it because that's the only option you have, I support that.
What's the difference between the products Canna Cureman from North American Urban Spice and the turmeric?
Well, the Canna Cureman contains the combination of the cannabis extract with the turmeric extract. Full spectrum, no chemicals, no petrochemical solvents. I say that because that's commonly used to extract turmeric and cannabis.
I see.
The turmeric extract is just turmeric extract itself without the added cannabis extract. Now, I say cannabis, I don't mean marijuana. I'm talking about organically grown rope hemp.
We got it. We'll be right back.
Did you get enough calcium today? 85% of women over the age of 20.
This is Village is just now with contributions, opening up new schools for their children, and the population is growing so that these children have education, and education is their power. Education is so needed to help them with all of their life's work, and we are here to help them to build these schools and to bless them with knowledge and with growing their own lives and learning and enjoying a better quality of life. We will be providing water, and everyone will have access to clean water. They don't have a lot of land. There's very little room to build this school, and yet you're doing it. And look at this, we're on a hill. There's no place to build this, but they're doing it. Where there is a will, there's a way. And this is proof positive that with every problem there's a solution, and education is a solution. Know it, learn that, and help us so we can help others.
Yes, an A student. A pilot is needed. Yes, an A student. A teacher is needed. Yes, an A student. To get letter A.
I'm sponsoring this to make this world a better place so that they can grow through education and be a better place to live.
Oh, letter A. Yes, an A student.
This is Village is just now with contributions, opening up new schools for their children, and the population is growing so that these children have education, and education is their power. Education is so needed to help them with all of their life's work, and we are here to help them to build these schools and to bless them with knowledge and with growing their own lives and learning and enjoying a better quality of life. We will be providing water, and everyone will have access to clean water. They don't have a lot of land. There's very little room to build this school, and yet you're doing it. And look at this, we're on a hill. There's no place to build this, but they're doing it. Where there is a will, there's a way. And this is proof positive that with every problem there's a solution, and education is a solution. Know it, learn that, and help us so we can help others.
Yes, an A student. A pilot is needed. Yes, an A student. A teacher is needed. Yes, an A student. To get letter A.
I'm sponsoring this to make this world a better place so that they can grow through education and be a better place to live.
Oh, letter A. And A beautiful life and life. That's it. Yes, I'm a student.
This is village is just now with contributions, opening up new schools for their children, and the population is growing so that these children have education, and education is their power. Education is so needed to help them with all of their life's work, and we are here to help them to build these schools and to bless them with knowledge and with growing their own lives and learning and enjoying a better quality of life. We will be providing water, and everyone will have access to clean water. They don't have a lot of land. There's very little room to build this school, and yet they're doing it. And look at this, we're on a hill. There's no place to build this, but they're doing it. Where there is a will, there's a way. And this is proof positive that with every problem there's a solution, and education is a solution. Know it.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. My guest is Dr. Cass Ingram, and we've been talking about a different paradigm, a different approach to managing pain and treating it. Of course, there's in allopathic medicine, a traditional model, you have the use of prescription drugs. Now, they are not without consequences. They certainly can moderate and alleviate pain. When I had to go on morphine for pain, that drug, the side effects for me were devastating. We had a guest on the show a while back, and it was Dr. Gifford Jones. I don't know if you all remember him or not. He was a surgeon all his career, and when he was on my show, he was in his 90s. He's still around. He's still alive, and he's still out there working. And he's in Canada. And he made an argument one day on the show, I'll never forget, that he said, with patients that are in end stage, who are dying, he wanted the Canadian government to allow the administration of heroin rather than morphine. He found that the heroin was a better option. He didn't even like morphine for end-stage pain. And that's controversial. My point is that when you go down in that world of pharmaceuticals, certainly you will get an effect, but you also get the side effects. So there are alternatives, natural alternatives that Dr. Ingram's talking about. You should listen carefully to what he's telling you. He didn't just think about this last year or last month or last week or yesterday. He's been thinking about and doing something about it for decades. So I advise, I'm taking the advice myself. I listen carefully. Dr. Ingram, welcome back. The products that you have, curcumin, the canacuramin, and the turmeric, those could be taken in combination, either one or the other, with pain ease, right?
These are crude extracts, supercritical or carbon extracts, so they're still raw. There's a little bit of organic ethanolic extract in the canacuramin as well. So you've got the full spectrum of the various flavonoids and pigments and anti-inflammatories, and that makes it exceedingly effective. Case history, there was a dog that had hip dysplasia. A dog couldn't walk. You know, a dog's supposed to walk and run. And so they're giving the standard isolated turmeric 95 or whatever pills. Not really moving the needle. So every day the dog gets a pill. So then they use this crude extract. So they give the dog one capsule of canacuramin. It obliterates the hip dysplasia symptomology. It obliterates the pain. The dog is back walking, and they only gave the dog one capsule. Then the dog didn't want any more. It was fine. So we don't understand how all these different components interact together. We're just humans. We didn't make the plant. So you'll find that crude full spectrum cannabis, crude full spectrum turmeric is very, very effective for pain and inflammation, more so than any medication. And we're talking the same with the spray. If you just take pure essential oils, all you're doing is distilling out the essential oil from the herb or the bark, and then you put it on the nerve endings, and it's been created to penetrate those nerve endings and then modulate the pain. You're going to get an effect when you put it on.
And so what people, I know this is obvious, but I'm just going to say it because I don't want... This is chemistry. And as I said yesterday, and I've said on other occasions, when I took my chemistry classes, I then really had a better appreciation for nutrition, for the use of herbs and spices, for food generally. I don't want to distill it down just to chemistry because food...
It's chemistry, though. It is.
It is chemistry. It is. At its heart and soul, it's chemistry.
Because, drugs can't do this. The drugs are isolated chemicals that interfere with the enzymes. Or, for example, they might interfere with the enzyme in the nerve ending and cause the acetylcholine to go up, all kind of weird stuff. This mechanism is different. So your essential oils burst through the skin in the dermis. They then are taken up by the nerve endings. The phenolic compounds reduce the inflammation at the nerve ending site in the skin. So the body says, well, I don't have the pain, and that sets up a positive cycle. But then I would think you should take something internally to work on the COX-2, the inflammation cascade, the white blood cells, the eosinophiles, but something that's non-toxic, that's not addictive. See, there's another benefit of substances. There's no addiction at all.
None. Zero. Gary, you...
Actually, anti-addiction.
I have a question that came in over the internet. One of the questions is I'm a professional athlete. Is this going to have any side effects?
Yeah, the side effect is less pain and inflammation and being able to do more with your athletics, especially the painies, because, first of all, there's no cannabis in there. If you're a pro, you've got to be a little bit cautious of that. But, yeah, I mean, if I was a pro, I'd use the painies and I'd use the Turmeric Power Plus because that one has no cannabis. I would be cautious because of there's traces of THC in any cannabis, even the industrial hemp.
And it's it's almost a minute amount, but nevertheless, it's there in a trace amount. You never know.
You don't want to risk that at this time, unless I'm trying to do some studies to see if you give high doses of industrial hemp, if you can get a positive marijuana test, or if not. And I would.
I would have to think you'd have to consume, unless one's biological makeup is different than other humans. I think it would take a considerable amount, Dr. Ingram.
It would, and I've been doing a few marijuana tests, and with the hempnol, for example, is coming up negative, but there have been some reports of false positives from high-dose CBD. So we have to look into that,
So these products that we're mentioning, the Pain-Ease, the Canacuramin, the Hempanol.
Pain-Ease and Turmeric Power Plus for pros and for cops and for nurses. For the regular public, Canacuramin, Hempanol, Pain-Ease, kind of make that distinction.
And then there's the old standby, the Oreganol P73. Which is
wild oregano oil. This is the original oregano oil. It's completely edible. It's definitely wild. It's not a fake farm raised. There's so many brands on the internet, for instance, that say wild on the label, but they're just raising them and combining them. So that's the wild oregano is going to be more potent, more reliable, and
Dr. Ingram. Thank you so much. We love you. Take care. We'll be back. Second hour.
Energy, energy, and more energy. Everyone needs it. But did you know you can get the energy?
Help us so we can help others.
Yes, an A student. A pilot is needed. Yes, an A student. A teacher is needed. Yes, an A student. Circle in hands. To get letter A. Circle in
sponsoring this to make this world a better place so that they can grow through education and be a better place to live.
Oh, letter A. And inverted letter C with an I in the middle. A beautiful like a ladder. That's in. Yes, an A student.
This village is just now with contributions, opening up new schools for their children, and the population is growing so that these children have education, and education is their power. Education is so needed to help them with all of their life's work, and we are here to help them to build these schools and to bless them with knowledge and with growing their own lives and learning and enjoying a better quality of life. We will be providing water, and everyone will have access to clean water. They don't have a lot of land. There's very little room to build this school, and yet they're doing it. And look at this, we're on a hill. There's no place to build this, but they're doing it. Where there is a will, there's a way. And this is proof positive that with every problem there's a solution, and education is a solution. Know it, learn that, and help us so we can help others.
With an I in the middle, a beautiful like a ladder. That's in. Yes, an A student. A pilot is needed. Yes, an A student. A teacher is needed. Yes, an A student. Circle in months. Letter A.
I'm sponsoring this to make this world a better place so that they can grow through education and be a better place to live.
Oh, letter A. And inverted letter C with an I in the middle. A beautiful like a ladder. That's in. Yes, an A student.
This village is just now with contributions, opening up new schools for their children, and the population is growing so that these children have education, and education is their power. Education is so needed to help them with all of their life's work, and we are here to help them to build these schools and to bless them with knowledge and with growing their own lives and learning and enjoying a better quality of life. We will be providing water, and everyone will have access to clean water. They don't have a lot of land. There's very little room to build this school, and yet they're doing it. And look at this, we're on a hill. There's no place to build this, but they're doing it. Where there is a will, there's a way. And this is proof positive that with every problem there's a solution, and education is a solution. Know it, learn that, and help us so we can help others.
With an I in the middle, a beautiful like a ladder. That's in. Yes, an A student. A pilot is needed. Yes, an A student. A teacher is needed. Yes, an A student. Circle in months. Letter A.
I'm sponsoring this to make this world a better place so that they can grow through education and be a better place to live.
Oh, letter A. And inverted letter C with an I in the middle. A beautiful like a ladder. That's in. Yes, an A student.
This village is just now with contributions, opening up new schools for their children, and the population is growing so that these children have education, and education is their power. Education is so needed to help them with all of their life's work, and we are here to help them to build these schools and to bless them with knowledge and with growing their own lives and learning and enjoying a better quality of life. We will be providing water, and everyone will have access to clean water. They don't have a lot of land. There's very little room to build this school, and yet they're doing it. And look at this, we're on a hill. There's no place to build this, but they're doing it. Where there is a will, there's a way. And this is proof positive that with every problem there's a solution, and education is a solution. Know it, learn that, and help us so we can help others.
Yes, an A student. A pilot is needed. Yes, an A student. A teacher is needed. Yes, an A student. Struggle in maths. To get letter A.
I'm sponsoring this to make this world a better place so that they can grow through education and be a better place to live.
Oh, letter A. And father letter fit with an eye in the middle. A beautiful like a ladder. Yes, an A student.
This village is just now with contributions, opening up new schools for their children, and the population is growing so that these children have education, and education is their power. Education is so needed to help them with all of their life's work, and we are here to help them to build these schools and to bless them with knowledge and with growing their own lives and learning and enjoying a better quality of life. We will be providing water, and everyone will have access to clean water. They don't have a lot of land. There's very little room to build this school, and yet they're doing it. And look at this, we're on a hill. There's no place to build this, but they're doing it. Where there is a will, there's a way. And this is proof positive that with every problem there's a solution, and education is a solution. Know it, learn that, and help us so we can help others.
With an eye in the middle, a beautiful like a ladder. Yes, an A student. A pilot is needed. Yes, an A student. A teacher is needed. Yes, an A student. Struggle in maths. To get letter A.
I'm sponsoring this to make this world a better place so that they can grow through education and be a better place to live.
Oh, letter A. And father letter fit with an eye in the middle. A beautiful like a ladder. Yes, an A student.
This village is just now with contributions, opening up new schools for their children, and the population is growing so that these children have education, and education is their power. Education is so needed to help them with all of their life's work, and we are here to help them to build these schools and to bless them with knowledge and with growing their own lives and learning and enjoying a better quality of life. We will be providing water, and everyone will have access to clean water. They don't have a lot of land. There's very little room to build this school, and yet they're doing it. And look at this, we're on a hill. There's no place to build this, but they're doing it. Where there is a will, there's a way. And this is proof positive that with every problem there's a solution, and education is a solution. Know it, learn that, and help us so we can help others.
With an eye in the middle, a beautiful like a ladder. Yes, an A student. A pilot is needed. Yes, an A student. A teacher is
Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for stopping by. We made it yet again. We've been doing this for 13 years, day to day, week to week, month to month. And we're glad you could be there. It's a privilege to do the show. I have to say that, and I mean it. And we show up here every day because we're interested. The project, essentially, is to help people take charge of their health so that they can live a long life with quality of life. They go together, right? Long life and quality of life. People are living longer these days, but not necessarily living longer with quality of life. We're able, through medical science and various therapies, to keep people alive a long time, notwithstanding that they may be suffering from comorbidities, more than one disease process or health issue at a time. That's a remarkable achievement yet on the other hand, one wonders about that. You know, bedridden, highly medicated. I don't know. Sure, like to live to 100, but are you ambulant? Can you get around? You still have your mental faculties? Are you without pain? Or otherwise not suffering? Are you alone? The problem with living a long time, you outlive everybody else. A lot of people don't think about that. There's the dark side, by the way, of living a long time. And that is, your loved ones are gone. Your siblings, perhaps, your parents for sure, your friends, many. And you find yourself in a nursing home somewhere, and you're isolated. I don't know. Boy, it's a mixed bag. And I'm an advocate for a long life, as you well know. I don't know if I'll make 100, given all that's happened to me, but I don't know. I don't know what the design is for me. But my belief, and this really over the last 2 years, I've gotten to a place, and I share this with you because I find it useful. And when I'm giving talks, I talk about this theme, and that is living mindfully. It's cliche to say that. But I really wonder if many understand what that means. And to practice it. And to live mindfully, which means living in the moment, like this moment right now. This moment. No other moment. This moment. And doing that one day at a time. I have found that useful. And you don't have to have gone through some very challenging crisis, health or otherwise, to get there. Although, if you're half awake and don't want to squander the opportunity to grow and learn from an experience, you'll find yourself getting there. Because you learn, especially when you're in a lot of pain, that you only have the moment. You got to deal with that moment. If you think about what just happened or what's going to happen, you're doomed because you lose focus. And even being in a great state of health and not having any issues and things are just humming along existentially very nicely, I still believe that's a better way to live. And it's hard to practice it. It's not so easy to live in the moment. And one of the things that I do when I find, especially when I find things are a lot of stress and things start to sort of, you get that sense of loss of control, which is an illusion anyway, no control, but you have a sense of that, and things are sort of, the yarn is unraveling, to focus on my breathing, one breath at a time, breathing diaphragmatically, breathing from my diaphragm, and just concentrate on that. It's amazing how that centers you. And just, I'm telling you, it's a simple thing, doesn't cost you a penny, but it is a very effective strategy or tactic. Very effective. And I find myself resorting to it. I'm in the middle of this trying to move, closing on one house and closing on two houses on the same day and moving and having to deal with all the issues. And I've walked through that, other than one or two episodes because of a buyer. I'm calm because it's in perspective. Sometimes it takes a lot. I guess this is part of wellness. And there are more than a few people listening and watching this show right now, alone, not well, a lot of ambiguity and uncertainty about their destiny or just about getting through the day. And that's an audience that I pay considerable attention to and reach to. Then we have a lot of healthy people, not a thing wrong with them. They just enjoy learning and want to know and how to prevent and how to prepare. And then there are a lot in the middle where, not bad, things could be better, but so we have a diverse audience, demographically, psychographically, and in terms of health and wellness and well-being, the various conditions and states. So taking charge of your health, living a long life with quality of life, and that one little thing I just shared with you comes from a great deal of pain and suffering over 2 years. I didn't share that whimsically. I am telling you from my experience, not from a book, not from a theory, I'm telling you from my own experience. Focus on the moment. Live mindfully. There's a lot of literature on it. You can read about it. You can practice mindful meditation too. And doing that day in and day out. For me, it's better. Here's how you can connect.
You can reach us at 877-897-8255. That's 877-897-TALK. Dr. Garko's personal email is drgarko@letstalknutrition.com. Follow us on Facebook at Let's Talk Nutrition, where you can like our page and subscribe to our videos when they come out. And subscribe to our YouTube page at Let's Talk Nutrition, where everything is archived and put up there by date.
And so here we are. And there's a couple stories to report on. Johnson & Johnson just got slammed. After 8 hours of deliberation, a jury in St. Louis awarded $4.69 billion to 22 women. It was a class action suit against the pharmaceutical monolith Johnson & Johnson, arguing or alleging that their ovarian cancer was caused by a talcum powder as part of their daily feminine hygiene routine. The jury awarded includes $550 million in compensatory damages and $4.1 billion in punitive damages. They wanted to punish them. Come back, I'll tell you more about that story, and there's a couple more that are kind of compelling.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, If your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
Michael Garko, thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. Johnson & Johnson had a bad day. You know, you talk about lawsuits. They just got rung up like a pinball machine for $4.69 billion. Class action suit. 22 women sued them for ovarian cancer due to using their talcum powder. Man, oh man. They got They got rung up for $4.1 billion in punitive damages and $550 million in compensatory damages. It's the largest verdict against J&J, and they're sued all the time. I was telling Gary, when you look at the number of products that they make and in the quantities, I suspect that when they price out each product, in there is the fee for the lawyer and the lawsuit. That's what I'm thinking. Because statistically, the odds are good that they're going to get sued somewhere along the way. You just can't make that many products and not get sued. A jury in one case ruled Johnson & Johnson's favor last November. And in October, a judge reversed 2 verdicts in favor of the company, and a Missouri appeals court tossed out a $55 million verdict against the company because of jurisdictional issues, it was reported. So, they win some, they lose some. But this debate about talcum powder and ovarian cancer, that debate started, in case you want to know, back in 1971. They've been going back and forth on this a long time. And when scientists wrote about finding talc particles embedded in ovarian and cervical cancer tumor tissue. This goes back to 71, right? This is not a new thing. In a separate but related set of lawsuits, Johnson & Johnson's powder was contaminated with, are you ready? Something you find in your roof. Asbestos. Or in the walls. You shouldn't. But asbestos is a well-known cancer-causing agent or carcinogen. And it's often mined, they said, near talc. There was a New Jersey couple, according to CNN, that was awarded $117 million after the husband claimed the J&J powder he inhaled gave him mesothelioma, a cancer caused by asbestos exposure. You see that commercial running on about meso all the time. So this has been going back and forth. Go to IARC, IARC, International Agency. They deal with cancer. And they will cite for you chapter and verse and rate the carcinogenic potential of any of these different compounds. It's a very good site. IARC is the acronym. Gary might find it. We can flash it up onto the screen. IARC, IARC. I think it's IARC.org maybe. And another kind of lawsuit-ridden story, or contamination story, I remember I reported on Sugar Smacks. Did you find that IARC?
That's a different site. The IARC.org, yeah.
IARC. IARC. IARC.
I did look up talc mines in the United States, though.
Uh-huh.
And they go from California to New York. They're everywhere. So,
what is it about those mines, Gary?
I worked in a trona mine for about 3 months out.
Well, what's Montana. A talc mine? What are they mining here? What is the?
It's the actual talc is a rock, okay, and they mine it through. They used to scrape mine it. Now they actually dig mine it. So
do talc mine workers, do they suffer any particular diseases or conditions is my question.
I know the trona mines you did.
I don't know. I've never heard anything reported on industrial related cancers or health issues associated with talc miners. Of course, with asbestos, mesothelioma, you get that all the time. You see the commercial. If you can find that IARC site and flash it up on the screen, I encourage the listener and the viewer to go there. Remember I reported on Kellogg's Honey Smacks?
Yes.
Well, CDC warning on Kellogg's Honey Smacks says, are you ready? Quote, do not eat this cereal. Jeez. Close quote. That's what it says. Do not eat this cereal. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says that Kellogg's cereal has been linked to salmonella outbreak and has infected 100 people in 33 states. Now you say, well, that's no big deal. There's only 100 people, unless you're one of the 100 people. And if you've ever had salmonella poisoning or infection, trust me, it's no picnic. The CDC Thursday announced that customers should avoid Honey Smacks. Do not eat this cereal, close quote. The agency says it found salmonella in samples of Honey Smacks, and it's been subject to a voluntary recall. Back in June, Kellogg said it was investigating a third-party manufacturer that produces Honey Smacks. Honey Smacks, indeed. You get smacked inside your head. Consuming.
There's the IARC site for you.
Yes, cancer incidence in 5 continents. International Agency for Research on Cancer. A very reputable site. I encourage you to go there. When we come back, McDonald's. You know, the Golden Arches. We'll be right back.
Almost 52% of men experience erectile dysfunction and benign prostatic hyperplasia. If you've had challenges with virility, sexual health, or low energy, Body Vigor's Alpha Extension may be the answer for you. Body Vigor's Alpha Extension can help revitalize your alpha male and extend your love. Our formula is one of the highest quality nutraceuticals available, formulated to support the processes involved in promoting a healthy male sex drive, energy, and stamina. Alpha Extension has 2 powerful herbal blends, Virilo Max, which focuses on male sexual health, and T-Pump Activator, which helps balance your testosterone levels. Revitalize your alpha male with Body Vigor's Alpha Extension, exclusively available on Amazon.com.
This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention found that the number of overdose deaths involving potent narcotic fentanyl and variations of the drug doubled between the last half of 2016 and 2017.
It's the we're in Florida, and there's a county north of us called Pasco. And if you're familiar with the TV show Live PD, they filmed there. And one of the things is they're running into a lot of these fentanyl deaths, fentanyl overdoses, opiate overdoses. And that's one of the things that's very interesting with that show.
Well, when you were a police officer, were these kind of drugs that you get in the pharmacy sold on the street in the black market? Big deal? Is that a big deal?
Yeah, it was doctor shopping, and the state of Florida has really cracked down on that. And in doctor shopping, what you could do is you could take an MRI in the state of Florida at one time and go from doctor to doctor to doctor to doctor, and they would prescribe you opiates, and then you would have to go to different pharmacies.
What about dealers on the street selling these drugs? Do you bust people for that?
Oh yeah, unbelievable. You would, and now they're traveling out of state to bring the drugs back.
I guess where do they get them from? They steal them? I mean,
no. What you do is they're hiring people
to go get the. I see.
To go to the doctor's offices.
I see. So that's how they get their supply.
Yes.
They're not raiding a facility and stealing.
No.
I get it. All right. It's out of control.
Yeah.
Did you see it? There's a commercial running on national television. Young woman on addicted to opioids, and she comments, and you don't realize what you will do. And then they show her driving her car either into a wall or a tree or something so she can go to the hospital and get opioids.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, humans will do anything to avoid pain. At what cost? McDonald's salads now linked to dozens of illnesses in Iowa and Illinois. Again, another food safety issue. And I've written about food safety, and I've talked about it on this show. You eat out, you'll never know what you're going to bring in. It's just crazy. Health officials in Illinois and Iowa are taking a look at a link between McDonald's salads and a rash of illnesses caused by a parasite. Yum. About 1/4 of 90 people sickened since mid-May in Illinois reported eating a McDonald's salad in the days before falling ill, while additional 15 cases were reported in Iowa. It is reported, and it's just one story after another coming over the transom each day. And I just reported on the CDC warning, put the warning out, do not eat this cereal, referring to Kellogg's Honey Smacks, a case of salmonella again. So it's everywhere. Are any of you familiar with this plant called hogweed? I didn't know much about it. What got me interested in looking it up and researching it was a photograph of a young boy, a Virginia boy, teenager, when he came in contact with the plant. If you're watching the show, we're showing you a photograph of his face. And it looks like somebody took a blowtorch to his face. I didn't know much about this plant. I do now. A Virginia teen suffered significant burns on his face and arm after he became exposed to hogweed. Doesn't even have a nice name. Alex Childress, he's 17. He suffered second and notice third degree burns, third degree scarring after unknowingly. All he did was touch the plant. He was working outside in his landscaping job, trying to make a living. This was on Tuesday. This is according to the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Childress thought the plant was an unwanted weed. Well, certainly it was. And went to remove it from the ground. What happens is that in the plant, sap will seep out. This is how plants protect themselves. It's an environmental protection. It's the plant's environmental protection agency, the SAP. and caused second and third degree burns on this boy's face and arms. The top layer of his skin on the left side of his face is gone. They reported. I'm telling you, you know what? You get up every day, this young lad going to work, trying to make a living, and next thing you know, he's got second and third degree burns on his face. Those third degree burns are scarring. A hogweed. Maybe some of you know something about these plants. My dad knew a lot about these kind of plants. I don't know why he knew. I remember he talking about poison ivy, poison oak, poison sumac. He could give you the rundown on the 411 on any of that. I don't know why he knew so much about them. Hogweed, he never mentioned that to me. Come back, we'll have the LTN health question of the day. Who knows, you might win $25 supplement gift card.
Are your joints feeling out of date and stiff? Is that old sports injury flaring up? Is your body aching from the daily wear and tear at work? Body Vigor's Joint Ready keeps you at the ready for any joint pain that gets out of line. Unfortunately, as we age, joint pain becomes more common. Body Vigor's Joint Ready can help provide relief so you can continue to go about your day. Our formula contains sulfated forms of glucosamine and chondroitin. Studies show that these sulfated forms are more effective than regular glucosamine bound to hydrochloride. Joint Ready promotes a healthy inflammatory response, facilitates cartilage synthesis, and provides additional antioxidants. Keep your joints at the ready with Body Vigor's Joint Ready, exclusively on Amazon.com.
This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. And here's the LTN health question of the day. Earlier in the show, I was talking with Dr. Ingram about pain management and using natural methods to do that. We mentioned any number of products from North American Urban Spice: Hempanol, Pain Ease, their curcumin product, Canacuramin, and so on. And we were talking about this opioid addiction. It has become a scourge. Here's the question. And this is according now to the government, CDC. How many people a day in the United States die after overdosing on opioids? I'm going to give you just two choices, 15 or 115. How many people a day die in the U.S. after overdosing on opioids? 15 or 115. Here's the number to call to win a $25 supplement gift card.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-TALK.
So how did this happen? How is it that we find ourselves in this crisis, this opioid crisis? According to the CDC, I'm giving them attribution. In the late 1990s, pharmaceutical companies reassured the medical community, 100% full stop, they said, don't worry, patients won't become addicted when you prescribe opioid pain relievers. This is according to the government's report. And healthcare providers, of course, began to prescribe it. Why? Because they work, right? Subsequently, this led to widespread, they said, diversion and misuse of these medications. But they were already over Niagara Falls, and it became clear it was too late that the medications indeed were in fact highly addictive. So much for that good advice. Overdose from opioid rates began to increase in 2015. More than 33,000 Americans died as a result of an opioid overdose, including prescription opioids, heroin, and illicitly manufactured fentanyl. Notice I said illicitly manufactured. So that's another way they get these drugs into the black market. They have their own labs. Which fentanyl is a synthetic. That same year, 2015, an estimated 2 million people in the United States suffered from substance use disorders related to prescription opioid pain relievers. 591,000 suffered from a heroin use disorder, which are not mutually exclusive. I mean, this is just amazing. And what happens is, and it's all, a lot of it's driven by profit. And you might be wondering, we could find examples. Gary could do it right now. There are little towns, names you never heard of, where they got more opioid availability than they have access to the highway. And you wonder, why is it so many people in this little obscure town are hooked on, a major portion of the population is hooked on opioids? Why? Because they were shipped in and provided and prescriptions written. This is happening all over America. You would say, well, I could understand a giant metropolitan city like New York, Chicago, Pittsburgh. Sure, I get that. Did you find anything?
Hillbilly heroin.
It's called hillbilly
heroin.
Did you find any examples of these small towns? This is being reported on. There was a documentary, I can't recall.
The TV show Justified.
Okay, well.
So you're talking about Cumberland, Kentucky, Cumberland, Tennessee. Those two areas in the Cumberland Gap area are big.
And those people, I mean, the socioeconomic status there is not.
No, it's not.
These people are struggling.
Mm-hmm.
And they become victims. It's like they're targeted. And it's just a crazy. Do we, as humans, do we not know any boundaries to making money and profit and greed? And we're gonna do this to one another.
Watch the movie Winter's Bone.
I have watched it. It's a dark movie. Let's go to Panama City. Is this the first call we've had from Panama?
No, it's like the second
time. Michael, Panama City. Great to have you on. Thanks for calling.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. Here's the question. How many people a day are dying from opioid overdose? 15 or 115?
Got to be 115.
Yeah, it's 115, Michael. And that's a day across this country. It's just a crazy epidemic crisis, and we're having a hard, this is an interesting intersection between law enforcement and pharmaceutical companies, and the people in these small towns.
I'm kind of like a retired RN, so I used to dispense those darn medications all the time.
You saw the side effects of them, didn't you?
Yes, I really did.
Uh-huh. How are things in Panama City? You like living there?
Well, I must. I've lived here a long time. Over 25 years now.
Yeah. I've been through Panama City. When I was working on my PhD at Florida State, I would drive up around in that end from time to time, go up in there, and it's a nice town. It's a lot of.
It's a nice small city. That's why I like it. People are friendly, and it's just great. I love it here.
Well, good. I'm glad you're enjoying your life, and thank you for listening to the show, Michael.
Yes,
we appreciate it. Congratulations, you won a $25 supplement gift card.
Well, thank you, sir.
My pleasure. That's nice to hear from Panama City. We're in that neck of the woods. There's so much written on this epidemic. And I haven't done a lot of reporting on it. Maybe I should. I don't know. About 20 to 29%, according to the CDC, of patients prescribed opioids for chronic pain will misuse those drugs. They'll misuse them because they make you feel so good, and some people want to feel better. Your health is your wealth, and your health is the wealth of those that care about and love you. Have a wonderful weekend, and you know that I love you.